Hello everyone, Michael Jones here from Michael Jones Custom Knives. Welcome back to my forge today. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm not going to be forging any Damascus or working on any knives today, but instead I'm going to be doing a repair job on my mini mill that you see sitting next to me here. This is my little machine shop high torque 3990 mini mill. I bought this mill a couple of years ago, and you've probably seen me use it in several of my videos here on my channel. Well, recently I was working on a project and I was milling on some steel, and I noticed that the motor was getting extremely hot, and I started having problems with the mill not wanting to run and not wanting to start, and eventually the mill quit on me altogether. I suspect the motor has gone out. It was extremely hot to the touch, and when I plug the unit in and try to start it up, nothing happens. When I hit the power button, I get a green light here, but as you can see, when I turn this control knob up, nothing happens. I'm not getting any digital readout on the RPMs or any error codes or anything. So I suspect either the motor has gone out or the control board in the back here, something has gone out. So I started looking at some alternatives to what can I do to get this repaired. I don't want to ship it back off to a little machine shop to replace that. I think that would be too expensive. So I started looking online, and I found an alternative motor from the Custom Crafter that I'll be putting on this unit today. So in this video, I'll show you the new replacement motor, and I'll show you how I get it installed, and then we'll do a test run. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get busy. Another sunny day here in Northeast Ohio. Low temperature this morning is -3, and it's supposed to get up to 10 degrees today. It's a good day to stay inside. All right, let's take a look at the replacement motor that I ordered for my high torque 3990 from the little machine shop. This is from the Custom Crafter. I would like to put a disclaimer up front that they are not sponsoring this video. This is the motor that I went and researched online and found as a replacement. So I opened up the box here. The first thing we find is this piece of paper here with some basic instructions on how to operate the new motor. It is a 900 watt high torque servo motor, and it comes with a programmable controller. It says here you can find installation instructions at this YouTube link. So we'll see if that's still out there and valid, and also instructions for programming at this link as well. Now this comes pre-programmed for the little machine shop 3990 mill based on what I read online. So I shouldn't have to do any changes to the programming to operate it. So that's the basic instructions that came and the information. There's this empty mailer here. I'm not sure what that's for, other than maybe it was just used as packing material on top. So let's take a look at what's actually came in the box. So here is a new drive belt. It's supposed to be fitted for this new size motor and the existing drive pulley on the mill itself and the new drive pulley on the motor. Here is the new 900 watt motor. It already has the base plate installed and the new drive pulley installed already. It's supposed to be set for the appropriate height for the little machine shop mill. We'll see when I get it installed here in a few minutes. Here is the plug to plug into the controller, and it does have this nice little cover or shield over the plug to keep debris and metal out. So that's a nice feature. Here are the mounting screws for the motor for the plate. And here is the new controller for the motor. This has an on-off and a reset button. It has a digital RPM display. Here's your speed control. Here is your reverse, e-stop, and I believe this is a soft stop. I'll have to get it out and take a look. So it is programmable as it said, but as I've previously mentioned, this is supposed to be set up already for the mill that I have. We'll see once I get it installed on the mill and see how it runs. It does have mounting holes here at the top so that you can mount this either on a bracket or on the wall. If you're going to mount this on your attached to your mill, you'll probably have to fabricate some type of a mounting bracket. I will probably just mount this on the wall next to my mill within easy reach so that I can just reach over and control it. That's basically everything that's in the box. Looks like it's a pretty simple setup, just a swap out, plug it in, and it should run. So let's take a look at putting it on the mill and see what that looks like. Here's a better view of everything that was in the box. This is a screenshot off of the Custom Crafters website. You've got the controller, you've got the motor, you got the drive belt, the mounting hardware, the bracket, and the screws. All right, we just took a look at the new Custom Crafter motor I'm going to be putting on this mill here. So the first step is I have to remove the old motor, the controller box in the back here, and the on-off switch and speed control box here on the side. So first thing is remove all that, and then we'll take a look at what we need to do to install the new motor. Before you begin, don't forget to unplug the power from the outlet on the wall. As you can see here, I've already done that as I start to disassemble the mill. As I disassemble the mill, I'm putting all the retaining screws back into the holes to prevent any damage from metal shavings and dirt and debris from getting inside. After removing the on-off switch from the side of the mill, next I start loosening the 4 bolts that hold the motor mount onto the top of the head. There are 4 screws holding the controller box to the mill frame, but in order to get to the top 2 screws, I first had to remove the circuit board so I could gain access to loosen and remove the top 2 screws to pull the controller box off. 4 large screws holding the housing cover over the belt drive assembly. So now I'm taking that off so I can gain access to the belt. I've pulled the old belt off of the mill. Now it's time to install the new belt that was shipped with the servo motor from the custom crafter. After tightening down the cover for the belt drive, here I'm trying to install the new servo motor. The online instructions said to tilt the motor at an angle and slip the belt over the pulley and then slide the motor down into place and install the 4 screws to hold it. But I found that there was too much tension on the belt and not enough space to get the pulley through the housing and slip it over the belt. So what I wound up doing is loosening the 4 screws holding the belt cover housing and gave it just enough slack so that I could get the pulley through the hole and over the belt. Then I had to twist the servo motor around so that I could retighten the bolts or the screws holding the cover in place and then put the screws onto the mount. Here I'm making sure that the teeth of the belt are engaged in the pulleys by spinning the spindle by hand, making sure I can feel the motor turning inside and there's no slippage of the belt. I just have the screws holding the motor in place snug, and here I'm using a block of wood and a small hammer to tap the mount on each side to make sure that the belt is snugged up and tight enough. You don't want to overdo this and get the belt too tight. All right, I've got the unit installed. I've got the belt tension where I think it needs to be at. Got the motor secured down. I've got the controller hooked up. I'm getting ready to plug it in for the first time and see if this is going to run. This is going to be a little gangly because I don't have the box mounted yet. So let me plug it in the power. Make sure I got all the cabling out of the way. I'll route that and secure that after I test the motor here to make sure it's going to run. All right, speed control's down. Safety e-stop is off. Turn the unit on, power it on. There we go. Appears to be running. 200 RPM, low end speed. Up to 3,200 RPM. Reverse. It's working. There's the stop. Okay, everything appears to be working. E-stop works. All right, unit appears to be working. Okay, I have the controller mounted on the wall. The mill is all bolted back down to the table. And it looks like it's going to work pretty good. Hit the power button here. Let the unit come on. And everything seems to be working. Reverse is working. E-stop is working. So at this point, I'm ready to test this out. I'll be doing some additional milling here on a project I'm working on, so we'll see how this unit works. Okay, that install is complete, so I hope you enjoyed this video of me taking off the stock motor that came with my high torque 3990 mini mill and replacing it with this newer motor from the Custom Crafter. I did find the online instructions on YouTube, but the video link that was in the card at the beginning of the video is no longer valid, so they need to update those instructions. I'll post the link to the new video from the Custom Crafter in the comments. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be working on some future knives and swords in the very near future, so keep posted to my channel for those updates. As always, please come back and watch anytime, and please subscribe.